Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. Today is the 12th of June, 2023. We're going to do something a little bit different in this video. We're going to do one of my roving news reports, is what it feels like, but looking at things that are happening around our world from a spiritual perspective. I'm going to try and cover off 4 or 5 things in this video. So we will do sort of like rapid fire. We're going to start with the most beautiful, heartwarming story, and I'm going to be pulling out some of the spiritual significance in it, which is the rescue of the 4 children from the Colombian Rainforest after 40 days. Then we will turn attention to looking at some of the other subjects that are happening at the moment. Going to pull some cards on Julian Assange. I'm going to look at Nicola Sturgeon's arrest. She is the ex-First Minister of Scotland. Pull some cards on Prince Harry's case against the British media. If we've got time for it, we might also have a look at either Elon Musk or Donald Trump, but we might not get to those two, but we'll see how far we get. Before we do anything, I thought I was clearing out my office yesterday, and I came across my trusty divining rods, and I just thought we would have a little bit of fun with this before we actually get going with this video. So what I'm going to demonstrate is that Metatron is in the house. Okay, so my yes is when the rods basically go very far apart. If they cross over and go inward, it is a no. So let's start with just a basic question just to demonstrate that yes and no, and we will get going. So I'm just going to try and hold these as neutrally as I can, as relaxed as I can. Let's just get them stable. There's a little bit of electromagnetic energy in the room, so let's just ask that to settle from computers, phones, lights, all the rest of it. Okay, so we've got them fairly steady there. So I would firstly, hold on, let's just get back to neutral, please. Thank you. I'd like to ask, is my name Amanda? Is my name Amanda? Okay, so I've got a firm yes. And I would now like to ask a question which will get a no response with the rods. If they are working accurately, let's get them neutral. Is my name Frederick? Don't know where that came from. Is my name Frederick? No, it's not. Not in this lifetime anyway. Okay, let's get them neutral. Balanced. Back into a starting position. Thank you very much. Is Metatron in the house? Is Metatron in the house? Yay! Is my higher self in the house? Yes. Not bad for a Monday morning. It's only 9:20. Higher self is in the house. Metatron is in the house. All is well with the world. Let's get going. Let's start with this most beautiful story, guys. The rescue of the 4 children from the Colombian Rainforest. You might have seen this over the weekend. Over the last few days, these 4 children were missing for 40 days, 40 nights, and they were rescued by a very determined party of people who were searching for them, who never gave up hope. That word hope, this whole story that I want to highlight is really about hope. It's also tied into my last video that I did, which was the disconnection that most of us have got from Mother Earth, from our indigenous roots. And even though I was trying to make the last video as upbeat as I possibly could, there was also an energy of, crikey, this is an uphill battle. How do we get back to being able to understand that we are all one, that we need to look after Mother Earth, that we need to listen to our ancestors, turn back to the elders' wisdom, etc. Everything that I said in that last video, which was about the wildfires. And then this beautiful case just drops like manna from heaven, even though, of course, it wasn't a heavenly experience for these 4 children to go through. And indeed, their mother died in the plane crash, and 2 other people, I believe the pilot and an Indigenous elder, or an Indigenous teacher is how it was reported from my part of the world. So rest in peace to those 3. But yes, it's as though these 4 remind us that we can survive against all the odds, that as long as we keep a childlike purity and innocence in our hearts, that all will be well, and that God is within us, all will be well. As long as we remember that we are part of Mother Earth, all will be well. And the grandmother, who is still alive, when she heard that the children had survived, what was so beautiful is the grandmother gave thanks to Grandmother Earth for keeping them safe. And just how beautiful is that? How absolutely beautiful is that? The mother that died in the plane crash, I believe, was called Magdalena. So there is a nod to Mary Magdalene there as well. And her also tending and watching over not just the mother and the mother's body, but the children as well. The divine feminine all around this. The eldest child, who is called Leslie, 9-year-old little girl, managed to keep her 3 siblings alive for 40 days and 40 nights. And when we look into the story about how is that possible, number 1, she had been taught family skills that often are missing in our modern world, i.e. how to care for your siblings, how to take responsibility in the home. And by that, I don't mean growing up before your time, although I do think she actually looked after the children in her day-to-day life as well. I just mean that the polar opposite energy of what Leslie modelled in the jungle, being able to care for her siblings, is often the complete opposite of what we see in modern society, where some children are wrapped in cotton wool, never are asked to do anything around the home, have everything presented to them, etc. So just very, very inspiring. It's said also that she knew the safe fruits to eat in the jungle. She had an awareness of nature, plants, what was safe, what wasn't. I also read that she had tied coloured ribbons from hair ribbons around the camp. And I don't know whether that was to secure it or just act as a marker so that if they went away from it, they would re-find it again. Or whether it was that the coloured ribbons somehow were to deter animals or anything like that. I don't know. But definitely it has spirit all over the story. 40 days and 40 nights is something that is referenced a lot through the Christian Bible, for example. Jesus was tempted in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Noah spent 40 days and 40 nights in his ark. That 40 days energy is a spiritual initiation, is what I'm hearing. And I feel as though these 4 children, although they're not going to be necessarily on the world stage, they gave the world some hope at a time when there is so much conflict, chaos and darkness in our world. And I just want to say thank you to them. Also, I just had a very brief look at the meaning of their 4 names. Now, I appreciate that names have different meanings in different cultures. And obviously, I am not living in Colombia, so there might be slightly different interpretations of the names. But the ones that I found very easily straight away from a quick little tap at Google spoke to me, and I feel as though I would like to just say what they are, because they also feel as though they're part of the story. Leslie, the 9-year-old little girl, it seems to be linked into holly, the plant holly garden. And if ever you've planted holly, you'll know that holly is very protective. It's a protective plant. Plant it around your home as a border. It helps to keep out negative energy. So holly is very, very protective. So I thought that was interesting. The one other child was called Tian Norial. Apologies if my pronunciation is wrong. Tian, which I've never heard of before, is of Vietnamese origin and is about fairies, goddesses, and celestial beings. Christian is about devotion and divine dedication. The other child was called Christian. And then the fourth child, I don't know how you pronounce this name, Solini. One reference is passionate and sensitive, but I also found this, which I just want to show you. It's just a website, and what they've done, can you see this, is that they have broken out how you spell the name, and they've the S means something, the O means something, the L means something. So here we go. S is for sensitive, because this feels as though these are codes that these children are seeding. They are highlighting qualities that we need to return to, that we need to aspire to, that we need to remember. So S is for sensitive. O is for objective, always being impartial. L is for laughter. You spread it wherever you go. E is for eternal. Your spirit will live. I is for innovator, always improving. N is for narrator, tell many stories, pass on the wisdom. And Y is for young, the years never show. So, yeah, how beautiful is that? So the names are symbolic. The number of days they were missing is symbolic. The mother's name is symbolic. And also there were a number of dogs that basically were acting as sniffer dogs to help find them. So we also should give thanks to the animals. And there is one dog that was missing. Now, I don't know whether it's been found yet. There seems to be conflicting reports this morning, just having a quick look at the news. So if he's been found, please let me know, because that would just be the sweetest ending to the story. But if he's not found, there also is a huge poignance to the story, either way, whether he's found or he's not, because his name is Wilson, this dog. And when I heard that, let me just see what type of dog he is, because I had found that out for us. Oh, maybe it's gone now. Anyway, he's a sniffer dog called Wilson. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I just straight away saw the Castaway film with Tom Hanks. And do you remember he had Wilson, the baseball that he personified? Now, obviously, the dog isn't the baseball, but in many ways they represent the same thing. They represent hope. They represent sanity, keeping your wits about you. They represent the fact that you will survive against all the odds. Now, Wilson in the film was sort of sacrificial because he wasn't able to make the trip over the reef or whatever it was with Tom Hanks' character. But he got him to the point whereby he knew he was going to be okay. And I just feel that that dog's energy as well is highlighting so much. So let's hope he's found. But yeah, just a very beautiful story for Monday morning. Let's hope that those children are always blessed. And as I say, their grandparents are still alive. And let's just wish them many blessings and thanks. Okay, we're going to move on. I'm going to get a different coloured bell today. I found all my bells. So I'm going to ring these at the start of a new subject. So we're going to move on from all that beautiful good news to some other news which maybe isn't as inspiring, but needs to be looked at, and I feel as though I would like to look at. Okay, so let's get some higher perspectives on what's going on. Before I do that, let's just pull a card for today, the 12th of June. Oh, that's nice. We've got the energy of the Fool. So a brand new cycle about to begin. And maybe for the people that I'm going to be reading on, this energy might be true. Let's hope it is, certainly in the case of who I'm going to feature next, which is Julian Assange. But I didn't pull that card for Julian, so I will just put that back into the deck and reshuffle. But for all of us, let's take that energy of the Fool and breathe in a fresh new cycle at the start of a new week. Okay, why I want to go back to Julian Assange is you may or may not know that I have featured his story, his case. I've tried to highlight it as best I can on my channel over the years. And what happened last week is that he lost his appeal to be extradited to the USA. Now, I think they're going to have one last stab at trying to appeal the appeal. But as of last week, they had just lost the last appeal against the extradition to USA. I'm not going to go back into who he is, what his case is about. If you really don't know, just have a look at Google. It's all there. Or have a look at my previous videos on Julian Assange. Let's just bring Ashtar in because I always feel this strong galactic energy with Julian. And Commander Ashtar definitely always is around Julian. So let's bring Ashtar in to help us see what is going on with Julian Assange at this moment in time. Okay, so the first energy that I'm feeling is one of withdrawal and going inward. Now you might say, well, he's been locked up in prison for years, so there's nothing new there. But I'm just reporting what I'm seeing today. I'm seeing a light that is starting to fade out. Let's hope that's not linked into his life. It may well be a metaphor just for the hopes becoming diminished with regard to him winning, finally, release and appeal. I'm just feeling an energy of the lights dimming. I also want to say that another interpretation of what I'm feeling here is there's a hush. There's a hush descending. There's a silence descending. I'm hearing a pin drop. It's as though you can't hear a pin drop. It's so quiet, the energy right now. But then I'm seeing like dormant seeds that wish to sprout up anew. And they come from very deep below, underground. I'm hearing underground resistance. I'm not being told what that is. I'm just tuning into the feeling right now. So Julian Assange, what else please, Ashtar? I'm really just being shown this darkness, and I'm being shown, excuse me, I'm being shown Ashtar's hand coming into the prison cell. And Ashtar has something which looks a bit like a pod of light. It looks like a test tube, but it's a test tube that is sealed on both ends. It's long, it's like a long capsule of light. And Ashtar's hand is holding this long capsule of light. And it's like Ashtar is the nightlight, is what I'm hearing. Ashtar is the nightlight for Julian at the moment. And I have to say that I'm feeling quite upset at this moment. I'm just seeing Julian. He does feel quite beaten down by this latest development. It's as though he needs our help to keep his hope alive. A bit like Wilson with the children. It's like we have to be Wilson for him, because right now it feels pretty hopeless and helpless. And he's still the warrior within, but I'm just seeing him lying on this bed. There's a brown, scratchy woolen blanket covering him. He's not quite in the fetal position, but he's on his side. He's turning again. He's just turning his away. It's like it's an energy of I just do unto me what you want to do unto me. It's an energy of resignation and giving up to a degree. Now remember this, that's not to say he will. It's to say how he's feeling right now as I'm tuning into him. It's also an energy, I feel like I don't know if he's allowed to sleep in prison. I suspect that they bang on your door at God knows what hour to put a measly breakfast through the hatch or whatever. But I'm feeling as though it's a different form of resistance, actually. It's almost as though he is turning his back on the world, who he feels the world has turned their back on him. He feels as though he's been forgotten in this moment that I'm tuning into him. But there are some powerful light bearers around him, particularly his wife. I'm seeing the energy of Dame Vivian Westwood, who is now in spirit. I think she dressed as a yellow canary or a yellow bird, didn't she, outside prison, or outside one of his hearings. This was when she was alive, a year or so ago, 2 years ago. And I'm seeing her now as like this yellow... Vivian is showing me herself a bit like yellow, it's like Tinkerbell, but it's like Tinkerbell is, because I'm reading Peter Pan at the moment, Tinkerbell is an interesting way for Vivian Westwood to show herself, but actually it's perfectly Vivian, because Vivian was like this 2 fingers up at the establishment for a lot of the time, but equally she could also be nice. And sit at the establishment's table as well if it suited her. Very Tinkerbell, you know, it's like I can be this, I can be that, which way do you want me to be? And right now she's just like this little yellow elemental fairy, and she's fluttering around his cell window is what I'm feeling. The cell window might be symbolic, because I don't even know whether he's got a window, but she's trying to bring cheer, she's trying to like bring sparkle back to him. And Ashtar's there with the light. So, guys, it's looking... Yeah, he's not feeling great. Let's pull some cards and see what we can get on Julian Assange. So that's where he is at the moment. What is there to say in addition to what I've just been shown, Ashtar? I'm getting a really strange feeling here around my crown. My third eye, and interestingly the card of the 3 of Wands is coming through. I feel as though our job as light workers is to lift him mentally at this moment. Yeah, look at that. I've just picked that deck up, and on the bottom of the deck we've got conflict and defeat. He's feeling defeated right now. He's feeling defeated, and look at that. That's somebody who's stumbling down what looks like a cell or prison, I can't even speak, staircase, and there's like a fire at the bottom, and it's just the only way is down. And it feels very much like I'm being shown Daniel in the lion's den as well. But what happened to Daniel in the lion's den? Didn't Daniel escape the lion's den, didn't he? Via an act of God. Let's just quickly look that up, because I'm being shown Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel, lion's den. Daniel in the lion's den tells of how the biblical Daniel is saved from lions by the God of Israel, quote, because I was found blameless before them. Okay. So Daniel was thrown into a lion's den to be devoured. But the lions refused to do so. The story of Daniel teaches us about the promises and faithfulness of God, even if we feel like everything has been lost. An angel shut the lion's mouth. God miraculously spared his life by shutting the mouths of the lions. Okay, so whoever you think the lions are, whoever you think are the ones who are out to get him, he has the divine with him, is what I want to say. Not just Ashtar, but others. If we look at that 3 of Wands, there's a ship on the horizon. And the ship on the horizon, of course, wants to take him to America to lock him up in maximum security for the rest of his life and throw away the key. But there's another ship this ship on the horizon actually doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like a jail ship. It doesn't look like a slave ship. It doesn't look like a prison ship. It looks like a spiritual ship. And you might not be able to see it, but on the flag, it looks like the energy of the Fool. That card that I showed you earlier. It's got the Fool's. It's got the image of the Fool on the flag. But the guy this guy, who I guess is Julian, he's not even noticing this ship that's coming in. He's waiting for it. It's like the energy I've been waiting for so long for help to come, that right now I feel like I've given up. I'm not even looking at the horizon anymore. This guy's not looking at the horizon. He stopped looking. Like but that's when it comes in. I mean, let's hope so, guys. Let's hope so. There's another deck that I want to use, actually, because I did pull some cards for Julian last week when the decision came in from this deck, which is the Wild Harmonic Oracle, and there were some interesting cards that came out, but I want to pull them afresh with you. Let's just see what we get. So, Julian Assange, 2 cards please from this deck. What is there to say? Julian Assange, going forward, Julian Assange. Empowered discernment, that was one of the cards that came up last week. And that is a fiery sword. That card came up last week as well on the bottom of the deck, which is the card of internal validation. Wow, okay, and that's all. I'm going to pull that one as well, even though I said 2 cards, because that's also on the bottom of the deck. That's the ship. You see, this says intuitive navigation. Okay, this is a wacky thing to say, but I believe this. It's as though we can manifest together this ship to appear. It's like Vivian's there with her Tinkerbell magic. Ashtar's there with his night light. This needs a combined focus of light workers to manifest this ship. Intuitive navigation. Empowered discernment. Whatever happens to him, the truth of what he has attempted to do and tried to do and has done, uncovering government secrets that they wanted buried, is going nowhere, that truth. And somebody else will take up the baton if he can't. This internal validation, again, it reminds me of the Hamza protective symbol. He is protected, actually. But this is also, I'm always wanting to say, it's an energy of up yours. It's like, I don't seek any external validation. I don't seek any court to tell me whether I'm innocent or guilty, because the court that actually matters to me is a higher court. And we were shown the story of Daniel for a reason. In the higher court, he's let go. He's freed. The beasts cannot devour him. That's the court that he answers to. He doesn't answer to any other court. So, just pull one final card for Julian. State change, fire of water. The butterflies, the symbol of meditation, the symbol of being present. All those butterflies. The butterfly effect. One of the things that happened, going back to the last story I was just reading on in Colombia, was when they found the children, they were on like a walkie-talkie or a radio, and the code for finding a child alive was miracle. And they said miracle, 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 miracle. They said it 4 times because there were 4 children found. It was a miracle 4 times over. Can you see that the word miracle reverberates like the butterflies? It creates the change. What's that saying about the butterfly? Please help me out in the comments below. That when a butterfly shakes its wings or something, it creates change. in every single corner of the earth. You know, it can move mountains. It can create the most extraordinary change that you would never think is possible. Just, it's the ripple effect, basically. It's the ripple effect. So the power of the word miracle 4 times reverberates out, and it can create further miracles, is what I'm trying to say. So we have to be the one who still believe in the miracle for the guy lying in the hospital, not the hospital, interesting I said hospital bed. Maybe he's in a hospital wing in the prison, I don't know. I won't try and correct myself there. I said it maybe for a reason. He's lying in a bed anyway, feeling helpless and hopeless. All is lost. We have to be this now. We have to be this for him. So we will be so. Sending our best wishes to Julian. And let's just pull one final card for... I'll pull a card for will he be extradited? But in many ways, you see, if we can do the work, we can stop whatever the cards say today, if it says yes. What have we got? We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Queen of Coins as well on the bottom of the deck. We've got 2 queens. Female energy. Now, interestingly, I believe that when it goes back to be appealed again, his wife has come through and said there's going to be 2 new judges sitting to hear it again. I wonder whether the judges might be female. I don't know. Because we've got the 2 of coins with the 2 females, the 2 queens, and that saying it could go either way. It could go either way. It's still 50-50, guys. For the King of Swords, which is him, because he was all about truth and trying to bring the truth. So I don't know. You see, because we've got the Chariot and the 6 of Swords, that could be read either way. It could be read that the judges decide quickly to extradite him, and he moves away, or it could be that justice comes in a different way and that he moves away from this situation of the fear of extradition. It's not decided, basically. It's like we have to play our part. He can't do it on his own anymore, all right? Okay, moving on. Let's get to a new subject, because I just want these to be quick fires, or quick fire reads for me anyway. Nicola Sturgeon. Let's have a quick look at Nicola Sturgeon. I'm not going to spend ages on this because I realise some people watching me won't even have heard of Nicola Sturgeon, but Nicola Sturgeon is the ex-First Minister of Scotland. She heads up the, or did head up, the Scottish National Party. Her life's work is really to try and bring independence to Scotland. Her party lost the referendum when it was last put to the people that did Scotland want to break away from the United Kingdom. The answer was no, but she's never let go of it. It's who she is. She'd be a very interesting one to do a spotlight on, I agree. But for now, what happened over the weekend is that she was arrested. And she was arrested, linked into investigations about mishandling party money, running into hundreds of thousands of pounds, I believe. Her husband is also implicated. So it's money that's come into the party that has either gone missing or been misappropriated, or so it's about money. My gut feel, before I've pulled any cards, but I would like to pull some cards, is that I'm no fan of Nicola Sturgeon. I'll just say that at the outset, because I believe in the United Kingdom. I think we're stronger together. But equally, if you disagree and want an independent Scotland, that is fine. And I will sit at the table with you and we'll have a good cup of tea. But my personal feeling is she's not my type of politics. Let's just put it that way. So, but I have always admired her because she's a strong woman. She's like a pit bull that never lets anything go, to her detriment sometimes. But, you know, I admire her strength as a woman and being in a man's world still, really. Politically, a lot of the time, it's still a bit of a man's world, even though there are many more female MPs over here than there used to be. She's just a strong woman, so I admire that. My gut feel when I heard the news is I thought, I can't really believe that she's guilty of that. I heard the word stitch up. That's what it felt. Whether you like her, you don't like her. Is she actually guilty of this? Is she guilty of taking money or misappropriating money? She was arrested also on the 11th. Some people are saying that it took the heat off the Conservative Party. There was a lot of headlines about Boris Johnson having resigned from Parliament about less than 24, 48 hours before. A bit of a gathering momentum of, is he going to do something? Is he going to form his own party? Will other MPs resign? There's a lot of stuff going on with Rishi Sunak at the moment, the UK Prime Minister, with regards to trying to... Oh, I'm losing track with it all, really. It's something to do with Sunak is trying to stop the publication of certain documents, I think linked into how Boris handled the COVID crisis. And of course, Sunak was part of how Boris did deal with the COVID crisis. So it was all heating up, basically, for the Conservative Party. And then very neatly, this story landed on the 11th, which sort of stopped it all. So I don't know. I just felt stitch up for whatever reason. I can't see that she's guilty of what they're accusing her of. But let's see, shall we? Let's pull some cards for Nicola Sturgeon. I'll use my rods at this point, actually, because I've got them out for a reason, haven't I? Although, rods are, rods are like anything. It's just a tool, so it's not the complete oracle. We have to always just see everything as part of an answer. But let's see. So, Nicola Sturgeon. Is Nicola Sturgeon guilty of taking money from the Scottish party that she represents? Okay, so we've got a clear no. We have a clear no. Sort of backs up what I was thinking. She's not guilty of what they're accusing her of. But let's have a look. Nicola Sturgeon, what is there to say, Spirit, please? Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola Sturgeon. 4 cards from this deck, please. Nicola Sturgeon. Oh, she's really, she's a strong lady. She's ballsy, she is ballsy. But just because you're a ballsy, strong woman, it's like you can still be crumbling inside. And she is suffering, guys. She is suffering. We have power on the bottom of... Interesting. Actually, I've got 5 cards. I've taken the one on the bottom of the deck. The top of the deck is 8. The bottom of the deck is 8. 2 8s, topping and tailing this reading. 8 is about power, as this card says. 8 is about power. It's about abundance. I feel as though... someone's taken her down deliberately, or is trying to take her down deliberately, because her star was on the rise. Now, she was embroiled in all sorts of stuff before she stepped down, okay? So I completely understand that. I realised what was going on in Scotland and the arguments that were happening up there. But I don't know. None of us really knows the path. A lot of us don't know our own path and what's about to happen or what's about to come. The unexpected development, the unexpected call, the unexpected promotion. I feel as though there was something in the offing for her that was quite bright. She was being offered something. Maybe this is also partly why she stepped down. I don't know what this is, guys. It doesn't feel it's got much to do with Scotland. It could even be to do with a higher organisation. She was offered something. I don't know. Because look, whatever it was, whatever's thwarted her power, we've just got complete mental turmoil and fear, and it's linked into the throat, and it's also got the throat chakra. Someone's trying to silence her. Someone's trying to silence her. And as I say, I need to reiterate, I'm not this woman's biggest fan, but I'm just telling you what I'm tuning into here. There's an energy of someone trying to trap her, imprison her, actually. Look at that. That person's behind bars. She's in real torment about this. And she's looking back in terms of, what did I say? What have I done? Have I said anything? Have I done anything? Because like her or loathe her, she always struck me as a complete perfectionist, and probably somebody that would have, a bit like Thatcher, you know, although she hated Thatcher, but, you know, she'd have been pouring through all her papers, all her details. She was always prepared. If ever you saw her on TV doing interviews, she was always prepared. She always knew, she had an answer for everything, basically. She knew her stuff, even if you didn't like what she said, she knew her stuff. And this has come like a bolt out of the blue for her. And she's just completely blindsided by it. What about the husband's energy? Because the husband was arrested first. It was, to be honest, it was all linked into him, really. The husband, is the husband done anything? Show me the Nicola Sturgeon's husband, Spirit. Nicola Sturgeon's husband. I'm wanting to say he's coming up as King of Pentacles. I think he got a little bit too comfortable with the material success, the money. We've got the Star, the Nine of Cups, and the Five of Swords. But I'm just getting the feeling from these cards that I'm quite liking all of the nice things that we get, all the perks of the job, all the money maybe of the job. There's an energy of sort of greediness here, which you normally wouldn't say with the Star. But I'm feeling, you know, the Star is hopes and dreams, and it's like the Nine of Cups is like, let's just keep this coming. You know, the wish is for more. And, you know, we're going to win at all costs. I'm not as sure that the husband is as innocent as she is. I'm feeling if there's smoke here, if there's something to be answered here within the family home, I'd be looking at him rather than her. Now that's a massive betrayal if that is the case. Let's just see, how does she feel about her husband? I'm hearing denial before I've even picked the card up. How does she feel about her husband? Nicola Sturgeon, how does she feel about her husband right now? The Chariot and the Hermit. She's feeling as though and the Five of Cups. There's definitely something going on here within the marriage. She's doubting him. She's doubting what he might have done or not done. She's having to go very deep within. She's wanting to move as far away as possible from this situation. There's a side of her that doesn't really want to look at it, but she's heartbroken. Five of Cups. The energy of heartache. Hermit, having to go very deep and doing it quickly. What didn't I see? What did I not see? Ten of Coins and the High Priestess. Which would imply, look at it. Is somebody putting money into a little secret pot? A little piggy bank. But they're doing it in secret. But I don't think it's her. I split the deck and we've got the Emperor. It would imply it's more him, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Let's just say that on this. You have to do these things on YouTube, so you don't get yourself in trouble. I would be looking at, this is male energy. It's not her. It's not her that's putting the money in the pot. It's a male energy. If it's not the husband, it's somebody else high up. in that party. There is a case to answer, definitely. But she's now the Queen of Swords. I mean, this is her. Anybody that knows Nicola Sturgeon, this is her. She wants to find the truth. But she's definitely very... she's feeling pretty broken by this. Very fragile. Okay. Might do a spotlight on her another time. Okay, let's move on because, as I say, I do want to get a few different subjects done on this video. The white bell. Okay. Let me just shuffle the deck and let's see where I want to go next. We've done Nicola, we've done Assange, we've done Colombia. How long have we been going for? 45 minutes. Let's have a quick look at... well, all of the three last ones I could look at, they're all controversial. So which one shall I pull? I think I'll just have a quick look at Prince Harry. Let's see how he's doing. He's taking on this court case against the British media. He's sort of, he's coming in to try and, I'm talking from his perspective, he's trying to bring to account the paparazzi. I haven't been following it, to be perfectly honest. It doesn't interest me a huge amount. But I do know that maybe it's worthy of a quick read. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of why he's doing it or any of that. All I will say is that I'm not a great lover in airing your family dirty laundry in public. That's the truth of it. That's where I'm at with it all. Okay. Dragging his mother's name into it, his brother's name, all the rest of it, his father's name, doesn't sit very nicely with me, but let's have a look. What is there to say about Harry? And what deck do I want to use? Let's go to the Field Tarot. Let's see where he's at, and then let's see how successful he's going to be in this latest case. Prince Harry. I'm hearing Diana's voice and it's like, oh Harry, oh Harry, oh Harry. Said with love as well. If you're a mum, you get it. Sometimes we look at our children and what they're doing and how they're behaving, for good, for bad. It's like, oh Harry. Okay. What is there to say then? Prince Harry right now, this current case at the High Court in the US. Right, I said the High Court of the US. I've gone somewhere different with this. This is not what I was about to pull on, but I'm going to say what is now coming through. What energy I've got here is linked into how he got into the USA, the visa. Because basically he wanted to live in the USA with Meghan. He has lied on his visa application about his drug use, or has he? I mean, if he didn't lie, they've let him in. Basically, they've bent the rules because he shouldn't really have been allowed in with what he has come out and said he has been doing drug-wise on his interviews and in his books. So something was hidden, and there's movement on that. There is big movement behind the scenes in looking at that particular case. And we have the Two of Discs, which is the card of change and justice. Oh my gosh, and then we've got Judgment as well. Nine of Cups. Oh, hold on, there's a whole story coming through here. Let me just get the cards out. I'd be a bit worried if I was him. I mean, I can't believe that the US are going to throw him out. But equally, stranger things are happening in our world at the moment. I mean, it's literally, isn't it? It's like every time you turn the news on, it's like, oh my God, this has happened, that has happened. This Nicola's been arrested, this person's been arrested, Trump's now up on 37 whatevers. It's like it is all heating up. So actually a headline saying Harry to be exiled from the USA. I mean, nothing would surprise me, to be perfectly honest, at this point in time. But having said that, diplomacy and behind the scenes shenanigans would probably keep him safe. But there is definitely something here about, there are definitely people within the judicial system in America who are not happy about the fact that he has lied, I think. And he's been allowed in. We've got the card, the Five of Cups, which is disappointment. Yeah. I was just thinking to myself, I know you can't see my cards I'm looking at. I'll show you in a moment. But I was just thinking, but I haven't got a card of lies here. And I've now just pulled the Seven of Swords, which is the card of deception. There were lies. His entry to the USA was based on lies on his visa application form. It's catching up with him. And justice, judgment, it's being looked at. His dream, Nine of Cups. We also have the energy of disappointment here. And we have the Two of Discs, the card of change. That looks like them, doesn't it? I mean, that looks like Harry and that looks like Meghan. But they kept something hidden. There's movement. I'm going to pull from another deck, but I'm going to stay on the visa thing because that's obviously what's come through. One thing I am wondering, just intuitively, is I'm not going to read on their marriage because everything I've said in the past I stand by, and I said it 2 or 3 years ago. So there's just no point going back over it. I believe he will come back at some point alone to the UK. I've always seen that. I'm just wondering whether this might be used as a bit of a smokescreen for that. There's definitely a timeline where that could happen. As though, well, now I have to leave the USA. I have to come back to the UK. But actually it's for reasons other than this legal case. Let's just pull a few cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. 3 cards from here. Prince Harry, what is there to say right now, please? The Son of Swords and Judgment. You see, he is the son. He's not the... This is all linked into his father. He's the son to Charles. He's going to face some judgment with regards to that. Is Charles going to... I don't know, let me just pull the 3rd card before I say anything else. The Tower. But it's with the Empress. And we've got the World. And then we've got the Fool. And then we've got the Hanged Man. And then we've got the 6 of Pentacles. And then we've got the Star. Sorry, I've just got to carry on. There's a story here. And then we've got the Moon. And then we've got the 4. God, they're just... Right, let me try and say what I'm seeing here. I think, even though I don't want to particularly read on his marriage here, I think there are currently big problems within it. I think the Tower is coming down on the Empress. The Empress is, I think, Meghan. She's the mother of his children. There's the closing out of a cycle to begin again. Having had a change of perspective, the Hanged Man. then needing to rest because there was something that I didn't see that I now can. The rainbow's end. The pot of gold might not be where I thought it was. The Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. I'm just being shown the Highgrove Garden again. And those of you that have watched my videos on Royal Family know that I saw a end scene where William and Harry reconcile in Highgrove Garden, out of public eyes, where they realise what they are to each other, giving and receiving. It comes in after the death of their father. I'm not saying that's about to happen here. I don't believe that's about to happen yet. But there is a timeline here, which for whatever reason I'm being shown today. Can I just please have clarification on that Tower on the Empress card? Because some people could say that is linked into his mother and needing to close a chapter on the fact that his world fell down. The Tower came with the Empress. It was the end of his world. He had to be the chick that went out of the nest. It changed his perspective. Let me just have clarification on that Empress card. The Daughter of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. That's not his mother. Diana was never the Daughter of Pentacles. She was always the Queen of Cups. There are channels devoted to royal readings. It's not what I do, okay? It's not really what I'm interested in. No disrespect, but it's just not. So, and I know all the things that are said out there with regards to all of the different things, with regards to Meghan, his mother, all the rest of it. There's many different ways you can read these cards. It's all got too much for him. Yeah. Son and daughter. This isn't king and queen material. This is the next tier down, which would be Harry and Meghan. Okay, as I'm being forced to go here, even though I don't really want to go here, just show me a card, please, on state of the relationship between him and Meghan, even though I think that's what we've got here with these cards. The Wheel of Fortune, Fate. And we have the Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Victory at any cost. There's a brutal energy here of fighting each other, is what I feel is going on. And neither of them wants to acquiesce, is that the right word? Both of them would be better regenerating alone. The worm, or I think it's a worm, or it could be a snake, has been cut in half. Aren't worms able to sort of like regenerate or something? I think I'm right in saying that. They can survive even though you cut a bit of them off, and it's not a very nice thing to say. They'd be better off apart. The Two of Pentacles, they're thinking about that option, but it's hidden. The Choice of the Lovers is hidden. Whether to part. Are the roots of the tree that they've grown together strong enough to survive? I don't know, because there's an awful lot of worry, stress, anxiety, fear. If I was advising them, I would tell them to have a break. It's almost like a relationship that needs to have a break from each other. And then if they were able to do that, they'd be able to see whether there is still love there. But they'll only get to that place if they're able to see the truth of the situation, of who they are. These cards are just flying out everywhere now. It's all very messy. Going forward, Harry and Meghan. The Mother of Cups is guiding the Emperor. That's Diana. Diana's trying to bring some order to this situation. Whatever is going on behind closed doors, I know some of you love them, some of you aren't so fond of them as a couple, is sort of immaterial at this point. Whenever the eclipse season is, the eclipse of the sun, watch out for happenings around then. Sorry, it's a hot day, my camera keeps overheating. I'd said to you that the Queen of Cups is Diana, and there she is. I actually feel as though, I think I said, oh, Harry earlier. I think it's a bit more than that. I think she's very worried about him. Take it out of the marriage now. I think she feels that he needs to be brought back into the fold. And I'm hearing he's a loose cannon at the moment. He's a loose cannon. And she's probably the only one he would listen to. Because he's not going to listen to his father. Father's coming up as the Father of Wands. King of Wands, that's Charles. But we've got the droopy rose. He's burnt his bridges there. It's all a bit sad, guys. I don't want to really end it there, so I'm going to pull some final cards away from this subject, which is a heavy one. Let's just send the whole situation love. Harry, Meghan, Diana, Charles, all of them. Children as well. Okay, let me have a look in my diary. Let's see what's coming up. I think we're limbering up to Solstice, aren't we? So Solstice is on the 21st. Yeah, so I'll do something for summer solstice. I think it might be quite nice to do something which is sort of linking us back into our heart energy. So I might do that. Let's pull a card for the solstice energies that are coming in. This deck is called Life Soul Vision Oracle. Put all the description of the decks that I used below. Let's see what energies are coming in for summer solstice. We have Eclipse Revelations, Destiny Speaks. Have we actually moved off, Harry? I was trying to. Okay, we have the Eclipse. Destiny Speaks. But I was pulling it for us. When is the eclipse? Let me have a little look in my diary. Pause the camera. Well, the next solar eclipse is not till the 14th of October, but that does take us up to Libran season, doesn't it? Which is all about justice and balance. There's also a lunar eclipse in October, 28th, 29th. Right, October's going to be a big one then, isn't it? Well, it feels then as though we're going to be in a corridor, my friends, between the summer solstice and the eclipses in October. So Metatron is just making us aware that we're about to enter a very powerful corridor of change. I'll leave this card out because I'm going to come back in a few days to do the summer solstice video for you all, and we'll see what guidance wants to come through in that. Let's just pull one final card to close off this reading. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. We have the Queen of Earth, Nature's Blessing. That's rather nice. And that feels very appropriate for the solstice energies that are coming up. Queen of Pentacles energy, mothering, sinking into nature. Feels as though we've gone full circle to that beautiful story that we started with. And I'd like to tail this video with regards to the children in the jungle that were saved. And Yeah, just how beautiful is that? Mother Earth was there for them. Mother Earth is there for all her children, and that includes you and me. Lots of love, everybody. Take care. See you all very soon. Thank you for your support. Bye.